Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and we're going to talk about the astrology forecast for the Twin Flame Collective for the week ahead. So let's jump right into it, guys. This week, we have Venus entering into Capricorn, and so I feel all of us are really feeling this drive to kind of get serious about our finances. What else do we got going on this week? Oh, Wednesday, Mercury trine Lilith. So this is really a lot of conscious thinking, I feel, coming to the forefront, embracing temptation. Thursday, we have the full moon in Leo. This is what I feel I've been waiting for. We also have the Mars square Chiron that day. The full moon in Leo, I think, is the big event of the week. Friday, Mercury square Chiron. And Saturday, we have the Sun square Jupiter. We also have Uranus stationing direct and Mercury conjunct Mars at 17 degrees 17. This is huge. This is some type of completion surrounding Lionsgate last summer, the 8-8 portal, where we had the new moon in Leo. Okay, so let's go deeper into these energies, guys. Venus entering Capricorn, I feel, is beautiful energy for the divine feminine. I think many of the feminines were getting serious about collaborations, our work, boosting our relations with business contracts. I just feel it's a very artistic energy for the divine feminine when it comes to creating collaborative structures for our spiritual businesses. And so it's this energy of like, I'm getting serious about building, about growing finances, about manifesting wealth and new connections that I can work with within the collective. And so I just feel this is going to be a very attractive time for the feminine when it comes to enabling her to give and receive love. I also feel this is a very withdrawn energy too. So we're not going to be so open to just sharing our ideas or giving away our time and energy to people. I also feel as this shift kind of takes place, I was shown the Emperor with the Death card and the Empress with the King of Swords. And so this is where I feel we're at the precipice of this shift, right? We just went through the Sun conjunct Pluto energy on the weekend. And so we're going to have Venus entering into Capricorn, which I feel is all about truth bombs, right? I feel this is where the masculine is going through some type of ego death or transformation or a shedding of old beliefs. And I do feel there will be communication coming with all of this earth energy. I feel things are going to start to move in the physical reality. I do feel the feminine, though, is not going to be very open and trusting. I do feel there's a huge possibility of a laying it all on the table type energy with Venus transiting through Capricorn. And I do feel like the feminine at this point is not going to be so openly ready to express love and feelings, though, because of, you know, the feminine feeling like she was kept a secret for so long or kept, you know, at bay or, you know, ghosted her on the back burner for so long. And so I do feel it's going to take time for the feminine to start trusting and building that trust in the physicality, in the 3D, right? Because of the higher 5D connection. And now we're bringing it back into 3D, there's going to be an energy of confusion at first, right? About our real feelings, our emotional needs. You know, is there still competition for love between the masculine and the feminine? And so these are all the challenges that we've been transforming. And so I feel the feminine, though, is kind of just focused on money this week is kind of what I see for a lot of the feminines. With Mercury trine Lilith, this is bringing forward like a hanged man type energy with the 7 of Wands. And I was shown like the Magician with the Fool and the 8 of Wands. And I feel accelerated motion, accelerated ascension, a lot of incoming messages, a lot of movement. And I was also shown the Devil card. And so there will be temptations, right? There's always going to be temptation. Temptation is lurking everywhere. But this is creating a lot of higher conscious thinking, I feel like. We're bringing this into our conscious awareness. There's a lot of mental stimulation, I feel. Lilith is the shadow self, right? And so this might be like fearless communication. I feel fearless communication. And like a difficult integration of a lesson too when it comes to, you know, the beaten pathway. But I feel this is the pivot point of, you know, we've got to release this indecision. We've got to release the bondage, right? The devil represents bondage to something unhealthy. And so, and the opposite of indecision and bondage for me would be freedom, right? Discernment, freedom. And so we kind of got to release the materialistic side of life. And so that's going to be emphasized, I feel, for a lot of the divine masculines, is the release of the materialistic side of the journey. And so there's going to be a lot of radical lifestyle changes, I feel, being activated this week. Radical changes in finances, and that could go up or down one way or the other. And it's like a release of limitations. And sometimes we have to release everything to gain it all. And so sometimes it looks like a loss, but it's really not a loss, it's a gain. And so a lot of the masculines have been burning the candle at both ends, is kind of how I see that. And so the energy is saying cautious. Be cautious, because you can't just keep satisfying all of these selfish desires, burning the candle at both ends. That is not the age of Aquarius, right? Where we can't keep chaining ourselves to people and things that are very unhealthy, or that keep us in a place of only serving ourselves and our own needs, because it's really not the age of Aquarius principles that we're here to embody. And so a lot of the masculines, I feel, are getting a wake-up call when it comes to the devil and the temptation, and what happens when we fail to use discernment and we get led astray through falsities and misconceptions. The devil is a misconception of God. And so I feel a lot of the masculines are getting their whole world flipped upside down right now. And so basically the devil and the temptation is the opposite of creation. It's basically destruction. And so, you know, the devil or the shadow self casts a false image of truth. And so a lot of the masculines play into this escapism tendency, which turns into addictive bondage. And then they adhere to just purely the physical, materialistic aspects of life. And that's not what we're here to live life by. We're here to reach the apex by embracing these radical changes. And so we're here to challenge the status quo, right, of the 3D misconstrued constructs of what love relationships is and what we came here to be. We came here to be. And so there's going to be a lot of miscommunications. There's going to be a lot of triggering arguments, a lot of rage. Lilith is rage, right? And we've got the communication part mixed with the Lilith energy, all to trigger a reconsideration of beliefs. Maybe to create a sudden shift in mindset. And that's what the Tower can be too in the tarot. And so we can embrace the grand universe, the grand cosmic knowledge. So trines to me are always portals. So we kind of got to release some sacred rage. We got to release some social stigmas to tap into the grand cosmic knowledge, right? I do feel we're on the precipice of reaching some type of conclusion this week with the full moon in Leo. And the full moon in Leo is on Thursday, January 25th for my local area. That's also my crossed over Gigi's birthday, my grandmother's birthday. So we also have Mars square Chiron. That to me, I'm getting shivers and chills all on this side of my head right now. This is like Hanged Man with the devil energy. There's a lot of mirroring going on, which is creating the triggering. There's like the devil with the King of Swords floating around in the cosmos with the Hanged Man and the devil and the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords and the Magician and the Ten of Wands. So there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of disillusionment. There's a lot of exploring this wounded warrior energy. I feel this full moon. And so I do feel this is the laying down of the burden though. Right? The laying down of the burden. We all are not perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? Are you perfect? Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I know that. I know I'm not perfect. Are you perfect? But nobody's perfect. And so we all have hurt somebody. We all have manipulated somebody. We've all lied. We've all fibbed or, done something to serve our own personal agenda. We've all done it, right? And so to lay down the burden of carrying that weight, it's the energy of giving it to God, right? And so we're still kind of blocked from moving forward a little bit because there's still a need to transform these past wounds and unlock a deeper layer of this self-transformation. I feel a lot of the masculines are going through some deep-seated integration of these past wounds for growth with this full moon in Leo. I feel heart expansion. Leo rules the heart. And so the full moon in Leo is at 5 degrees 14, which is the Hierophant with the Temperance. And so that is this mystical merging. This is the changing of the guards. This is the shift in unions, right? Where the masculine's leaving the trauma bonded toxic cycle behind with the karmic feminine and going towards the higher love and the healing and the alchemized union with the divine feminine. And so there's a lot of envy and jealousy being projected from the karmics as all of these endings are reaching a completion. And I do feel there's going to be movement forward very quickly because the masculine is at this place of seeking that absolute freedom, right? And the Hierophant, I feel, is also representing the inner teacher, the inner sage that we're here to embody as these communicators of progressive change. For the age of Aquarius is what I journaled. And then the Temperance is signifying our strength because we're going to be tested. The devil doesn't want the twins together. The devil seeks to keep us divided, to keep us in these lower vibrational, tempting frequencies. And so if we can overcome our own addictions, our own codependencies, our own limitations, we have capacity to achieve unlimited greatness. And so the truth is going to surface always from within. And so there's a lot of truth surfacing from within. And as I say that, like the heaviness, the heart, like I feel like I have heartburn. I haven't even really eaten anything today, so don't have heartburn. So there's going to be some type of tower. I was shown the tower with the 9 of Wands because the sun is going to be in the 9th house at 16 degrees. And the moon is going to be in the 3rd house at 16 degrees. So we're closing out a Cancer Capricorn energy still connected to the Sun Pluto conjunction, right? And so the opposite of Capricorn is the Cancer energy. So there could be an awakening, whether it's caused by the exposure of a love affair, a health scare, an accident, a near-death experience, right? All of these things can trigger an awakening. And I do feel all of these feelings are coming in very deeply, very overwhelming, but it is activating intuitive gifts, I feel. So deception is being exposed this week, especially when it comes to relationship issues or matters of the heart. There could be an unforeseen sudden event or shakeup that will overthrow an existing false foundation or relationship that was rooted only in materialistic senses, I guess is a good way to put it. And so there's a cosmic forceful lesson, whether it's creating a loss or a setback from a scandal or a bankruptcy or misplaced values, or it's bringing in a blessing. So there's always two sides to the coin, right? There's always two sides to that double-edged sword. And so the energy during this moon cycle is going to be intense. There's going to be a lot of exposure of the lower vibration of Leo, which is pride, jealousy, anger, rage, a lot of overwhelming emotions and projection, or the illuminating side of the receiving end, right, of the beautiful giving side of Leo. So there's going to be like a final illumination is kind of how they showed that to me. Illuminating selfish materialistic approaches, because that's what we're leaving behind. So there could be a sudden loss or there could be a sudden windfall. And so, like I said, there's always two sides to the coin. So there's a need to understand the natural cosmic forces of the world, the universe, the energies are always seeking to restore that balance. It's the principle of Ma'at. all the way back to ancient Egyptian timelines. And so walk like an Egyptian. But no, we're here for this new earth social order. So there's a strong sense of justice playing out, and on the flip side is injustice and hypocrisy. So we're closing out a major karmic cycle. We're transforming all as well as like these childhood wounds. We're also transforming like communication wounds. So with Jupiter and Taurus, what house has it been expanding for you? For me, it's been expanding my third house of communication, calling in my brotherhood, right? My sisterhood, my brotherhood. And so there's a lot of needing to get really honest about what is no longer working. I was shown the devil with the Queen of Swords with Mercury square Chiron. So I feel this is a strong message for the divine feminine. What do you need to get honest about? What is still holding you back from manifesting all of your dreams? We've got addictions that could be a factor. What's been holding you back? Because I do feel there's this energy wanting to rush in and lay down a burden, close out a cycle, have a conversation, but there's still something preventing you from calling this in. So how can you go within and transmute this devil energy coming through and figure out what do you still need to walk away from? With the Eight of Cups that was floating in my third eye. So it might be the way you communicate with people, right? Maybe you still communicate in a projected manner or lashing out. So there's still something here that has negatively shaped your beliefs or a pattern in communication that still needs to be addressed. My nose is really, really itchy. We need to remember squares are hard patterns. They address something that needs to be explored when it comes to maybe an interplay with another, when it comes to healing and communication and healing communication wounds. So when we heal communication wounds, though, we cultivate like a deeper self-awareness, right? So a deeper, a deeper sense of empathy for ourselves and another. Saturday, the 27th, I feel this is the completion of the Lionsgate energy. We have the Sun square Jupiter at 6 degrees 49. And we have Mercury conjunct Mars at 17 degrees 17, which breaks down to 8. And we have Uranus going direct. So all is not as it seems. Okay? All is not as it seems, but you can trust your inner guidance. The Sun square Jupiter, I feel windfall with that 649 energy. I feel all is not as it seems. I was shown the High Priestess and the Moon. All is not as it seems. So you're going to have to trust in your own intuition. Okay, there's a lot of disillusionment going on in the collective. Okay, we have the Sun in Aquarius square Jupiter in Taurus. This is a very hard aspect. These are two very fixed energies. I was shown the Queen of Wands with the Seven of Wands. I was shown the Two of Wands with the Ten of Wands, and the Lovers with the Nine of Cups. And I heard obstacles. So there's going to be obstacles, right? Squares, once again, challenging aspects. But this is where I feel we find our determination to go forward, right? There's going to be binding forces being broken. I feel emotions are going to be extreme. There's a need to learn to control and master emotions, right? We can't be, going around throwing temper tantrums and plunging into the darkest aspects of self and projecting all of this energy onto another, right? And so it is a double-edged sword. There could be good fortune and success or loss and embarrassment. There's always two sides to overcoming things. So it's like we need to overcome our own addictive demons, our own like inner demons. And this could be a connection to drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, overindulging in food, anything, right? Moderation and morals was a big energy that I feel we really need to understand. What does moderation mean? That's also the energy of temperance. And what are your morals, right? So with Mercury conjunct Mars, I feel this is giving us the strength to close out like a 20-year cycle. I feel a 20-year cycle is kind of wrapping it up. And this is connected to Lionsgate last summer. So if you could look back to Lionsgate last summer, many of us went deep into this Hermit Four of Swords energy of introspection, 1911, to learn this lesson of healing, of, waking up to this truth, going through this heart expansion, this heart healing, and learning the lesson. And so I feel there's going to be a lot of increased mental activity, and we're going back to that Lionsgate energy. So how can you avoid stubbornness? Because I feel there's going to be a lot of sharp words. If you are like in a power struggle with somebody and you're only in there to prove a point, that is not unconditional love. I feel like this hyper drive of mental awareness and activity. I felt sacral chakra energy coming through. We need to be self-aware and avoid being stubborn in these conflicts. If you're just there to prove a point, you're wasting your time, you're wasting their time when you could go towards happiness. And so with Uranus stationing direct, there's going to be a lot of destructive urges, a lot of urges of self-sabotaging. So be careful, because it really is like a fuck it attitude towards everyone and everything. And I've been there. I've been that person. I just feel like total annoyance with everything and everyone. Is this rebellion energy. I already worked through that energy previously. So I feel like I kind of worked through these energies a couple of weeks before the collective. But it's this intense, amplified, persistent, power struggling energy. And so what we avoid will keep persisting. So get ready for like spontaneous combustion is how I journaled about it. But this is like intensified communication, arguments, fights. Mercury trine Uranus, Mercury square the North Node. This is a skipped lesson when it comes to communication that's being illuminated. We just can't avoid and ghost people. We have to talk things out. Nothing gets changed if we don't address it and talk about it, right? So something is being illuminated. There's a lot of synchronistic unfolding as everything kind of speeds up. Like as we go through these timeline shifts, it's like everything unfolds very synchronistic, very quickly. There's events that are just going to be very uncomfortable coming up here this week. It's going to be very unpredictable coming up here. On Sunday, we also have Venus sextile Saturn. Venus trine Jupiter. Venus is all about love. Remember, it's in Capricorn though now. I was shown the Lovers. And then I was also shown the Lovers with the Five of Swords. So don't deceive yourself. There could be an opportunity for a couple of situations to be presented. The Lovers with the Five of Swords, that's repeating a pattern. You don't want to repeat a cycle of Five of Swords again in a connection. Or you can go right towards Lovers, right? And so this is manifesting a mature divine partner. If you've done the work, you've manifested a mature partner. If you haven't done the work, I think there's more reflection on relationships that you need to do, because you might be calling in a Lovers and a Five of Swords because you haven't embraced enough growth. So where are you compromising your values, I feel, is going to be highlighted this week. Where can you strike a balance when it comes to fulfilling karmic soul contracts and knowing that what you are seeking is seeking you, because we do have an opportunity for a lucky break this week, but we have to learn the lesson. Let's jump in with some cards. Let me grab a drink of my coffee. Let's go right into it with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck, and let's see. Self-worth, heightened awareness of self-worth. Right, what it all boils down to is claiming our purpose. Knowing we have a self-worth that nobody else can claim. Nobody else gets to tell you what you are worth. You get to determine that, right? So where are you giving your power away to external forces? Because nobody can claim your worth but you. So we're all feeling the shift coming. So get ready. There's a shift coming. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into this. Twin Flames. What do we got for the Twin Flame Collective for the week ahead? Guys, look for the join button down below. There is going to be a join button now if you'd like to join the channel. Every Thursday, we're going to go live at noon, and we're going to do Twin Flame Ascension chats. We're going to do live card pills. We're going to have guest speakers. It's going to be something different every week. I'd love to have you join the channel for a membership. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget to like the video and join the membership if that's something that entices you. Okay, we get spend time in nature and aloneness. So we are really needing to go within. We're cutting some major cords this week as we go into the age of Aquarius. Any other messages for the twins? So, like, this is like illumination of the purpose. A lot of us go through years of solitude to get to a place of peace, right? When we get to a place of peace, then we know, like, we love who we are. The shadow, the light, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? And then loneliness isn't there, right? Really connect and stay grounded right now, because I do feel there's a lot of unwanted energies trying to cord to the twins, right? Because they don't want us to journey towards fulfillment. So there's going to be people triggering you, putting you to the test when it comes to old patterns. So there's going to be like karmic temptation this week. I feel a lot of the masculines are definitely being put to the test, right? So they have to address these old patterns with like even a social group, I feel. Because I do feel when they leave that karmic partnership, they're going to have to leave behind a whole tribe of people. And so there's fear, right? There's fear of being alone. There's fear, right, of, having nobody around. But we do have to kind of go within and be alone and cut all of these cords to understand our purpose, right? So I do feel like a huge step towards a conscious living and fulfillment. So we do have to take charge. So I feel the masculine is being tempted and influenced by a karmic social group right now. And I think it's getting really uncomfortable to stay there, right? Because of all of the destructive patterns and habits. So there's like a need to make a choice, right? The masculine needs to know he's never going to be alone. He needs to move forward for the next leg of the evolution path, right? So a lot of the masculines are still sitting in the dark night of the soul with a catalyst, is what I'm feeling. And their lesson is empowerment, right? So the twin soul unions can't move forward until the masculine learns the lesson of empowerment. And the catalyst is there to kind of trigger all of these past life traumatic wounds, right? Family wounds, when it comes to patterns that need to be addressed. The divine feminine cannot teach the masculine these lessons. The divine feminine is here to teach the masculine unconditional love. The twin soul is here to teach unconditional love. And so the karmic is there to shine a light on the complexities of the old beliefs. So I do feel there's a major refocusing of energies this week as the masculine prepares to take ownership. He's still kind of in that dark night of the soul, though. So it's like there's a fear of releasing these old relationships, as all of this unveiling of these patterns, I feel, is very triggering right now. I feel a lot of the masculines are digging deeper into truth or a new spiritual vocation as well, but definitely an awareness of the twin soul and feeling the void of the feminine's energy and connection. But this is also where the masculine deepens the telepathy, his psychic abilities, and his connection to himself. Let's see what archetype energies need to come through for the divine masculine this week. Oh, we get the exorcist with the child wounding. Okay, so the masculine is facing his inner demons, his own fears, right? Overwhelming fears, his destructive impulses. There's freedom here. So sage energy. The masculine, I feel, has blamed a lot of people. There's a lot of dysfunctional relationships, I feel, that are mirroring all of these childhood wounds towards the masculine right now. And so what he's resisted moving through is no longer going to be able to be avoided. So he's being asked to move through the energy of forgiveness, which is activating an inner child wound or a heart chakra wound. But he's awakening, right, to his desire for his service mission that we talked about, I think, in the last couple of readings. So open heart, child wounds, and the path to forgiveness, learning forgiveness. He's like going through a spiritual exorcism or like a purification. So what is the most prominent archetype energies surrounding the divine masculine this week? We get the prince, the child with the nature. So that's like spend time in nature. And then we get the femme fatale with the addict. And so there is still a connection to that karmic feminine energy. I feel a lot of the masculines are being tempted sexually, or, there's this very distorted attachment to money and power that the masculines are here to transmute and transcend. And so the energy of the karmic feminine, I feel, is very erotic and very tempting sensually and sexually this week, as the masculine is very open in the heart. So there's a lot of rejection, I feel, towards the femme fatale or the codependency, but there's like an addiction here, right, to the trauma bond. And so the masculine is recognizing he's compromised his integrity. there's a lack of honesty. I feel the desire to speak up and to be honest is there, but there's like a major addictive pattern that the karmic feminine holds over the masculine. So there could be fear of exposure of an addiction, but it's like the karmic knows how to have power over the masculines in our spirit. So I feel the masculine is recognizing this and needing to confront this week, right? Because a lot of the masculines like that the karmic makes the masculine feel like grandiose in this state of like self-aggrandizement, right? And so I feel there's a major shift, right, in communication this week for the masculine. What is the archetype coming through for the feminine? Look at that. We get the Avenger with the King. So I just feel like you just desire balancing the scales. You just desire to have balance, right? On behalf of yourself, on behalf of society. And it's like you are all done dealing with entitled masculine energies. You're kind of in this place of, I'm all done resisting. I am calling in an enlightened, benevolent masculine who will step into leadership with me. And you're all done with entitled masculines that won't do the work, is kind of how the feminine is at, I feel. So what is the main archetype energies coming through for the divine feminine this week? Okay. We get mediator with Messiah, and we get liberator. I just feel the feminine is just really rooted in serving humanity. We've gone through humility, right? We've gone through the release of the old beliefs. We know what it means to give it to God and to become one with the sacredness of the cosmic forces. And so I feel a lot of success is coming for the feminine. I feel, you can easily spot people that have ulterior motives, that have hidden agendas. I just feel you're bossing up professionally right now. And I just feel, your professional life is bossing up. I feel you're really stepping into the energy of Christ consciousness, liberation. It's like you're that torch bearer. You're holding the flame for others, right? And so you're shining the light on tyranny. You're shining the light on imbalances. And you're shining the light on where people need to liberate themselves from these toxic cycles, right? And so it's like you're freeing yourself from old beliefs, old patterns, old thought patterns. And look at that, bottom of the deck, storyteller. And so the twins are here to communicate, right? We're here to communicate these new higher visions, right? The high priest energy. And so there's karmic debt to be paid for where we have violated our spiritual mission in a past life. And so a lot of the karma playing out is due to a negative spiritual role in a past life, or where the masculine was seduced in a past life by the femme fatale, which is now playing out again this lifetime. And so there's a lot of energy demanding the facilitation of these unions and these spiritual commitments this week. And so there's a lot of energy being channeled when it comes to these unions this week, is what I'm feeling. All right, let's get a couple of tarot cards for the divine masculine and a couple for the feminine, and then we'll wrap it up here, guys. Okay, divine masculine energies for the divine masculine this week, please. Got one card. We get the 3 cups. So I just feel that karmic feminine is still trying to interfere with a new beginning here. So I feel the masculine's got some challenges to face. He's going to have to face some fears, right? He's going to have to choose to walk away from his chosen family, that karmic feminine, if he is to go towards an enlightened life with the feminine. But I do think there's fear, right? A lot of the masculines, I think, are also feeling foolish. There's that everything is kind of crashing down, and there's like a huge loss. The masculine, I feel, might have to walk away from everything, and I do feel that the karmic feminine is likely slandering and exposing the masculine in a very negative way. There's a lot of lashing out. There's going to be an argument that the masculine is going to have to face. I do feel if the feminine does receive a windfall, this is going to create a huge argument. And then we get the Lovers. So I just feel this is the pivot point. We can choose to embrace true love, guys. We can choose to embrace these deep twin soul connections. But we do have to leave behind these trauma bonds and these illusions, right? So let's see what needs to come through for the divine feminine. So really on the masculine's end is third party still is an issue when it comes to those old patterns. So the masculine is still dealing with a karmic, it looks like. Feminine, please. What needs to come through for the divine feminine? I just feel like be mindful of falling back into an old pattern of maybe feeling sorry for yourself, right? Be mindful of that. I do feel there's a lot of collective divine feminine rage surrounding, you know, the wounded masculine and the inconsistencies or the losses of, you know, the false promises, right? I do feel that. But what I do feel for the feminine, we get the Five of Coins reversed with the Page of Cups, the Temperance reversed with the Nine of Wands. And so there's that wounded healer. I feel you are ready to receive a new emotional experience. You are ready for love again. I feel a lot of the feminines are ready. So I do feel you've done enough healing surrounding money and abandonment wounds. You've done that core healing. But I feel with the Temperance reversed is there is still another layer of blending or alchemizing before a love offer can come in surrounding an old pattern, right? Don't fall back into an old pattern. Let's get one last message for the twins for the week ahead. Ooh. Do I take them? Yeah. Okay. Two of Wands reversed. This is like you have to take the next steps now. You got to take the steps now to make a move, send a message, plant the seed. It's time to unblock the heart. I do feel a revelation around the full moon in Leo. This is the week, guys. We got to unblock the heart or we're going to miss out on a golden opportunity for twin flame union for this new, beautiful 3D romantic emotional experience. So the time is right to plant those seeds, to send a message, to have a conversation. Don't waste these energies and squander an opportunity. So there could be like an unforeseen new opportunity here. Could be a windfall, but this is about going towards the passion, and Leo is all about the passion. So get ready for a wake-up call. Yeah, the masculine is going through a major release. I feel this is the release of the blocked communication too. The masculine's getting a wake-up call this week. He's going to have to restructure. He's going to have to find his discipline to accept a leadership role, because the time is now. Like, the time is now. There's no more time to waste. Let's get a closing message, guys. Passion. With my Twin Flame Oracle deck, what is a closing message for the twins for the week ahead? Closing message, please. Energy clearing, get ready. We are in a massive vortex of clearing old energy, clearing our energy field, our energy system, so we can create that open flow between the twins. So we're clearing all of this ancestral karma, a lot of family karma. Family lineage is in focus, right? Get ready to receive some communication. The masculine is awakening. He's paying attention to the signs and the syncs, and we are getting ready to go on a brand new journey here. Your hard work is paying off, divine feminine. Meditate, go within. We are accelerating on the path very, very soon, and that's what I got for the week ahead, guys. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out that description box below. There you will find a link to book a reading with me the different readings that I offer. There is also a link below if you would like to join my 5-week online tarot class that is starting in February. I'd love to have you join the class. I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thanks.